welcome back to the channel. Today's video I wanted to make because I know there's a lot of people actually asking questions what are the best mods for these cars, for the 3.0 liter G6, the P3 models. I believe they came out like 2007 or 8 in some of the models. So any of those that have the 3.0 liter T6 inline 6, this video is going to be for you. So today I'm going to name top 5 mods that you should do. Power mods, just to clarify, this is going to be only power mods. This is not going to be no cosmetic or anything like that. This is just going to be specifically power mods. If you want to get just top 5 mods to get the best gains out of this car. I mean, I've done a lot of mods to this car and I'm still doing so. I mean, I kind of know a thing or two a little bit about the mods, and I experimented with different mods, and I kind of know I should have done this first or that. So I'll tell you everything from my experience. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So this is my ride here. So as you guys can see, I got a lot of mods on it. Under the hood, power mods. I got nice wheels, got a big brake kit on it. I mean, even inside, if you look, got a carbon fiber steering wheel here with paddle shifters and all that. So yeah, we got some cool mods in this car. So as you can see, you know, I've done a few mods to this car. Exhaust mods too that you can't see obviously under the hood, but yeah, I have a bunch of mods on this car, and I heard I have some more mods in the process right now, as a lot of you guys know that follow my channel. So yeah, okay, so number 1 on my list, it would have to be the intake piping. Not the intake box. This and the intake is separate, just the intake piping from here to the turbo. So you can either get the Snabb or the DO88 one. I'm not sponsored by any of them. So whichever one you like. I heard some people say Snabb have collapsible, this collapses under when you go stage 3. I don't know, I never, at least I don't know, I haven't really experienced that issue. Maybe I have, I don't know. Anyways, I just don't know about it. But anyways, yeah, you can get the DO88, whichever one is cheaper. I'll probably get that one. If the DO88 doesn't have that issue, then I guess maybe go with the DO88 instead of Snabb. But yeah, Snabb or DO88, whichever one you guys choose. I haven't had any issues yet, so I don't know. So this intake piping, I think out of all the mods I've done, single mods I've done one by one, I think this one surprised me the most after I installed it. So not the intake, just the intake pipe. I'm gonna say also, when you have the stock box, you gotta get the K&N drop-in filter, not this one, but just the stock box filter from K&N, the high flow filter. I'm not gonna include it in one of the mods, but if you get the intake piping, I would get a K&N drop-in filter, not the actual intake like this what I got. Just get the K&N drop-in filter in the box, and then the intake pipe. That's it. This is gonna be the one mod. I'm not really gonna count the drop-in filter as a mod. So yeah, because that's pretty cheap and yeah, easy to do. So yeah, the first mod is gonna be the intake pipe. Okay, so for the second mod, I'm a little torn between the intercooler and the downpipe. I think that the intercooler kind of gave us a little more of a power boost driving at least the car when we installed it, so I would probably have to go with intercooler. The DO88 makes short one that's short and fat, and they also make a skinny and tall one. When we were buying intercoolers, they didn't have the short and fat one, they only had the tall one. I personally probably would go with the short and fat one, just my preference, over the tall one, because you get less heat sink from the radiator and all that. So yeah, I would go with the short and fat DO88 intercooler for my second mod. That's gonna give you the second best gains on your car. Okay, so as I said, I was torn a little bit between the intercooler and downpipe. I would, for the third mod, I would do the downpipe, catted downpipe specifically. Catless gives you odor, and you kind of lose the spool. And I even lost a lot of spool time with this catless downpipe. It's a 3.5 all the way through. So if you're just stage 2, I got 3.5, so the KT4 one. It's great, especially when you start making big power, like with the upgraded turbo and all that. But if you're not making that, you know, you're not thinking about going stage 3, then maybe get like IPD or Ferrita downpipe. They're 2.5 inch at the flex plate, and I think at the catalytic converter. This one is 3.5 inch all the way through, so it's great for bigger power. If you throw a lot of mods on the car, then get like KT4 or whoever else makes the 3.5 inch all the way through downpipe. And plus with the catted downpipe, you get a little bit of back pressure, so your spool time increases. But the bigger your downpipe, like let's say the the IPD one, I believe, and Ferrita, they have like 2.5 inch at the flex plate, like I told you, at the flex part, and at the cat. This one, the KT4 one, I believe, and there's one more that they do all the way through 3.5 inch. Even the cat is 3.5 inch. So with the bigger one, you lose a little more of that spool time. But yeah, if you just go on stage 2, just get the IPD one or Ferrita, whichever one I guess you like better. I'll just research some of the sounds. I have some IPD sound on my channel also. So yeah, number 3 on my list is the catted downpipe. For my 4th upgrade, I would say the best gains in power and reliability. This one is actually a big one, but this one I kind of had to hold it off until the 4th probably, because it's the most expensive out of all of them. But it also increased power. I did a dyno before and after. Obviously with tuning, we perfected the tune before the intake manifold. We dynoed it, and then we installed the intake manifold, and then adjusted the tune again, and we got really good power gains with this intake manifold, Elevate intake manifold. This was one of my favorite mods, because the original one, obviously, as I explained in one of my videos, I made specifically on the intake manifold, that how this one is centered, so it's like right in the center of the engine, compared to the original one where it's in between cylinder 1 and 2, actually 2 and 3. So it's actually more to this side of the engine, so it's a little, the cold air comes in more to this side than it comes to the 6 cylinder. Is probably going to be the hottest cylinder, where this intake manifold right in the center, as you can see, cylinder 1, 2, 3, and then that right there, and then 4, 5, 6. So it's right in the center of the engine, so it keeps the heat and everything balanced in the engine. So not only did I get a power boost with this thing, but I also got a lot more reliable engine. Especially if you're gonna push more power, you're gonna run the engine a lot hotter. This is a must upgrade. I will tell you, I can't really even stress enough to tell how much of a good upgrade this intake manifold is. Like I said, I didn't get this for free. I'm not sponsored on any of these parts under my hood. I bought all these, so I'm just telling you this from my experience, purely enthusiast experience. This is a must add. I just had to put it on 4th on the list because it's the most expensive. Not everybody can afford it, so I had to put the first 3. They're the cheapest, and they give really good gains also. But this one, yeah, also a great upgrade. I would have to put that on the 4th on the list. A must get upgrade also. Last would have to be something that you can't really see. It's on the turbo on the passenger side. I also did a diverter valve. I did an install video on it, so if you can search through, it's one of my, when I first started the channel, when I started modding the car, that was one of the mods I did. So it's a little older video, a little lower quality, but still I did an install on that GFB diverter valve. I gave some good pointers in that video and install and all that. But GFB diverter valve is cheap, it's not expensive. It also helps hold boost at higher RPM in the car. So, and I actually noticed it big time, because I guess the original one is all plasticky and rubbery inside, so it lets boost, starts leaking boost at higher boost level. So I would say the diverter valve is going to be my last upgrade, and that's not very expensive, and I would definitely upgrade if you're going to start throwing mods on your car. Either get the GFB diverter valve, is cheap if you're on a budget. If you can afford a little bit even better, go get the eCRV from Elevate, also a great one. That one actually you can run it with stage 3 with bigger turbos. You can comfortably with the Elevate one. GFB, I don't know, I haven't had any issues yet. I think I ran like 23 or 24 pounds of boost on the GFB one. Has been fine. Maybe it leaks, I don't know, because I mean obviously I get the big power jump off the beginning, and then towards the end it kind of leaks. But yeah, GFB diverter valve would be my 5th on the list of the turbo. But I would yeah, I would say the the diverter valve from GFB or Elevate. I was gonna say I would probably throw in the wastegate, but the wastegate, there's just so much that the wastegate can do with the stock turbo, because the stock turbo, right, it runs out of breath really fast. So the wastegate, probably I would upgrade it if you want to get the top power out of your car along with the diverter valve. While you add it, I mean, might as well just upgrade the wastegate also. But you know, it's between the wastegate and the diverter valve. I'll probably do both at the same time. If you don't want to go stage 3, if you just want to purely stick to stock turbo, then yeah, upgrade the wastegate and the diverter valve, because they're pretty much the same place. If you're gonna open the access to the wastegate, you might as well just change the to the diverter valve, you might as well change the wastegate also. But it will not give you as much gains as a bigger turbo will, because with the stock wastegate, if you upgrade your turbo, you're gonna have to upgrade your wastegate. So at that point you have to, but stage 2 you don't necessarily have to, but it would help. If you want to hold the power a little bit better at higher RPM, you might want to upgrade your wastegate also. So that's actually, it would make a 6, but yeah, I would have to throw that in, just, you know, so you guys know that's the upgrade I did. Right now I'm stage 2 and I did it. So I did the diverter valve and I also upgraded the wastegate. So yeah, I probably will try to list all the upgrades under my description of this video. So I'll have all the upgrades for you listed under the video, so make it easy for you guys. But yeah, those are gonna be my top 5 upgrades that I would do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I got a lot of mods on this car, so it's kind of, and if I go one by one, I'd have to list a lot. But for the power wise, that's the 5 or 6, I guess you want to call it. I just kind of didn't want to leave you guys hanging, you know, just tell you guys do the diverter valve and don't do the wastegate, because I mean, I did it and I kind of saw a little bit of a difference up high end. You know, the wastegate kind of held power a little bit, helped to hold the power a little higher RPM. The wastegate, I mean, the diverter valve also helped it, but the wastegate even added even more. So because like I said, this turbo runs out of breath pretty quick, and those two things definitely help it. So for the 5th upgrade, I definitely would do those two. So that will make a 6, I guess, not top 5, whatever. I'm gonna still keep this video title at top 5, but yeah. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions or concerns, comment below. I will do my best to answer them. I have a lot, as you can see, a lot of upgrades, a lot of different upgrades. So I didn't do just those, I did a lot more than that. But yeah, I also did not include the tune. The tune is not part of the upgrade, but like I said, if you're gonna get all the mods, if you want to get the most power out of the mods, obviously get a tune. But you don't need the tune for all the upgrades. None of the upgrades require a tune. You can get any of the upgrades without a tune and still be fine, but the car will adjust. Well, I mean, it will adjust for most of the power, for most of the increase in air and all that. But if you want to maximize your power gains, you might want to get a tune. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments below. I will answer them. Yeah, I just thought I would make this video just to make it easy for you guys. But the order that I named these mods, that's the order I would upgrade this car. If you have one of these cars, the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I kind of did it in order. If you were to start modding the car, if you're gonna want to just do 1 upgrade or 2 upgrades, just follow this order. Trust me, you won't regret it. I mean, I tested, we have a few of these cars we actually tested. We did different mods at different times, and like I said, I verified a few times that yeah, this order is the proper order if you want to upgrade this vehicle. Just follow the order and trust me, you won't be disappointed. Obviously, like I said, I would not get a tune if you just get 1 or 2 upgrades. If you get like 3 or 4 upgrades, then I would maybe think about getting a tune, because that will increase your airflow quite a bit. And if you want to maximize your power gains, you might want to throw a tune at it. But like I said, if you're got 1 upgrade or 2 or 3 and you're thinking, hey, next month I'm gonna get another upgrade, obviously I wouldn't rush getting a tune, because each time you get a tune adjustment or you're probably gonna have to pay extra. So if you want to get a tune, obviously do all the upgrades you would like to get. It's not going to damage your car or anything. You can keep driving your car. If you're going to upgrade your car within few months, get all the mods on the car and then tune it. Don't do one upgrade, tune it, and then do another upgrade and then tune it again, because that will cost you money. So yeah, just follow the order that I named it, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. If any of you guys did follow this order, or kinda did in this order, let me know in the comments below. And if you guys do try it out, you know, and follow my order, do a few upgrades, and just let me know in the comments below how the car feels. I'd like to know your feedback also, but from my experience, that's the order I would upgrade these cars. The P3 T6 3.0 liter. By far my favorite Volvo engine of all time. I mean, we have the S60Rs, it's the most reliable, and you get the most gains from any upgrade. Like, it's levels above any Volvo that I have seen recently. The S60Rs, and like any Volvo out there. The 3.0 liter T6 is very impressive. I want to push the most out of it. Like, I already got the turbo upgrade and all that. If you guys don't, subscribe to the channel, follow this build. I think by the end of next year, hopefully this car will be over 450 wheel horsepower. That's what I'm shooting for, and we'll see if I can accomplish it. Again, thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as usual, see you next time.